The Anandavalli from the Taittiriya Upanishad has a very beautiful description of what Ananda is. Ananda Mimamsa, it is said. And this Ananda Mimamsa talks about how can we attain the happiness that so far our Narasimhamurtiji was talking about. Of course, you realize you are God, then you can never be unhappy. Because you realize everything also is God, everything. So there is no question of being unhappy. Like in a room full of mirrors, when a dog enters, it thinks all are different dogs and starts barking and becomes very angry and unhappy because it sees difference where there is only one. Whereas in the same room, if a man enters and sees himself reflecting in all the mirrors, he becomes happy because he sees his reflection from all angles. And you can only imagine in that room full of mirrors, if a woman enters, she would never come out. She would only admire herself for the rest of the day. So when we see oneness, when we see ourselves in everything, there is no question of not being happy because you enjoy your seeing yourself. People ask me, there are group photos, they tell me to sign. But even if I click a group photo, the first person you see in the photo is yourself. Even before me, you search where you are, right? Because we are all interested in ourselves. We're all interested in looking at us ourselves. That is the idea, what he's saying. Ekam rupam bahudha yat karoti. It's only one, but becomes many because the world is created like that. Everything is a mirror in which you reflect. Some are good mirrors, so you reflect perfectly. Some are distorted mirrors, whatever we call it, this fidelity is not good, so you are reflected in a distorted way, so you don't like those. So what you feel about other people around you is actually a reflection. But people with different minds reflect you differently, and so you feel different emotions with different people. Like a good mirror and a bad mirror. But once you see all this is your reflection only, even if it's a bad reflection, still you're okay because it is your reflection. So the difference between a dog and a man with the wisdom is, dog thinks there are many dogs and starts barking endlessly. It can't be happy. A man knows all this is me, so becomes happy. So that is the difference between Ajnani and a Jnani. A Jnani sees everything as one, where there are many, and feels the oneness and becomes happy. Whereas an Ajnani sees many where there is only one and becomes unhappy and starts barking. So the idea of oneness, what he's saying, realizing the self, yen anupashyanti dhira tamastham, who within himself, within tamatmastham yen anupashyanti dhira tesham sukham shashvatam netaresham. The one who sees that within oneself, that there is only one, there are not many, such a person becomes happy. He has no conflict at all because everything is one. So his happiness, sukha, becomes endless, shashvatam. It's not one time, it's forever. Because forever he is seeing this reflection in everything. So there is a question. Otherwise, how would you explain Ravana Maharshi, a young boy, picks up a worm and puts it back on his wound and says, "Eat, my child, eat." Feeding his own flesh to a worm and feeling no difference between the two. Feeling no conflict, feeling no me versus that. How does it happen? Because they see that oneness in everything, so they don't feel. So one is attain that jnana. But that's a long way, right? For most of us. Because it is to come, but it will come. However, there's a long journey ahead. How to be happy now? Because I've told be happy now. Narasimhamurti is giving a very long route. He's telling realize yourself and then be happy forever. But I want you to be happy now and here. Now what do I do exactly at this point in time? That is the question you should ask, right? Because realizing God, feeling oneness with the whole creation, it may happen at some point in time, but not now. How can I be happy today, here and now? That is the question we must ask. So our Upanishads again come to our rescue, saying, yes, that permanent happiness comes to you when you realize you are the only thing that exists in the universe. You are means not as a human being, but as the self. But before that, he says very simple answer. Our Upanishad, Ananda Mimamsa says, it says, who can be a happy person? And it has grades of happiness. So it starts with simple, basic level happiness called Manushyananda, a human happiness. So what consists of a human happiness? One unit of human happiness is what it explains. I'm sure most of you know that, but just for the joy of it, recollecting what it says, युवा स्यात् साधु युवाध्यायकः आशिष्टो बलिष्ठो नरिष्ठः तस्येयं पृथ्वीं सर्वा वृत्तस्य पूर्णा स्यात् स एको मनुष्यानन्दः. What all should be a part of one unit of Manushyananda? He says, Yuva syat sadhu yuva dhyayakaha. You should be young forever. If you are young only, you are happy, because once you become old, your legs pain, your back hurts, your so many other issues start, you are not happy. Physically, you are not at peace. So start with first criteria, you have to be young. Then sadhu. You should be a good young man, not a drunkard, addict, abuser, or a offender, a criminal. Such a person, even if he's young, cannot be happy. Right? So first you should be young. Two, you should be a good person, sadhu, a good person. Then adhyayakaha. Dhyayaka means you should be a learned one, can't be an ignorant one. You should be a learned person, means you should be an intellectual, you should have some brains. You can't be a fool and be happy. So you should be young, you should be good person, you should be also intelligent and a learned one. Then what else is not done? Then he says ashishto, you should be very desirous, ambitious, or rather persisting, persevering kind. Once he chooses something to achieve, he achieves it. He sets his eye on something, he has the determination to achieve it. So ashishto. Next is just having a desire to achieve something won't get you there, balishto. He should be having the strength, the capacity, the abilities to achieve it. Many people want to become so many things. Are they even capable of that? No. So ashishto, dridishto, balishto. So balishta means strength and dridishto means determined, extremely steady in his pursuit. Is that enough for human happiness? How many things we have learnt? Yuva should be young, or she should be young, whichever way. Then sadhu should be a good person, should be a learned one or learning kinds. Then should be a very determined, very strong, healthy. Balishta means healthy also, strong also. Ashishto should be having good ambitions. Then what else? Not enough. Tasyayam prithvim sarvam. He should own the whole earth. He should be the owner of the whole earth, Lord of the earth. And vittasya purnasya, then all the wealth in the world should also be owned by him. If all these criteria are satisfied, then he is enjoying 1 unit of human joy. That is what those scriptures say. The scriptures are poetic. Don't take it literally. It is just to tell that just to achieve 1 unit of human joy is equivalent to getting all these things. You should be young, you should be a good person, you should be a learned one, you should be a strong one and healthy one, you should be having determination, perseverance, you should own the earth and all the wealth in the earth. Even Elon Musk can't be happy, right? Because even if he owns the whole earth and the wealth in it, he can't be young forever. Nobody can be happy. That's what basically the whole thing is to say. Nobody can be even experiencing 1 unit of human happiness. Then it goes on to say, 100 units of human happiness is equal to some Gandharvanandaha. There are gods, demigods, and a lot of categories are there in our scriptures. There are a lot of beings. Humans are not the only inhabitants of this universe. There are others. So it says, te shatam manushyananda sa eko some Gandharvanandaha, Manushya Gandharvanandaha. So first category is Manushya Gandharvas. They are slightly elevated beings than humans. They are some kind of gods. Manushya Gandharva they are called. Then 100 units of Manushya Gandharvananda is equal to 1 unit of Deva Gandharvanandaha. One more higher category of beings is Deva Gandharvas. So 100 units of Manushya multiplied by 100 units of Manushya Gandharva is equal to 1 unit of Deva Gandharvananda. Then from there it goes to Chirloka Pitrunam, some Chirloka Lokanam Anandaha. Then the Pitrus start coming after Gandharvas. There is the next category of beings. Then after that it comes some Pitru, and then it comes to Devanandaha, then it comes to Indranandaha, then it comes to Brahaspatiranandaha, Prajapatiranandaha, then comes Brahmanandaha. So I calculate is 10 to the power 20 times of 1 unit of human joy is equal to God's 1 unit of joy. That is how the mathematics goes. It is not literal, but it is to make you understand what it means to feel the joy that he is telling about. When you see oneness in everything, that is equivalent to 10 to the power 20 times of a human who is ever young, who is learned, who is good, who is strong, healthy, very strong-willed, determined, owns the earth and all the wealth. Multiply to 10 to the power 20 times, that is the joy that one feels when he feels the oneness of everything. It is just a way to put things that the ultimate joy of freedom of seeing the oneness is equivalent to so many times the joy of just experiencing little petty things in the world. But is that possible? You are saying What Narsimurti said was impossible. You are making it even, you're giving me the alternative to impossible is another impossible. How is it going to help me? Then our scriptures are very clever. After every sentence, they repeat one refrain comes. What is the refrain? Shrotriyasya cha akamahatasya. The other option, alternative, one alternative, see oneness in everything, experience ever joy. Two, own the whole earth and this and then everything and keep multiplying that to 10 to the power 20 times and experience God's joy. Three, B, Shrotriyasya cha akamahatasya. Shrotriya means learned in the scriptures. He knows the scriptures not as an intellectual exercise, but he has experienced the scriptures. He feels the scriptures. He has learned the scriptures. Which are the scriptures? Our Upanishads, our Brahma Sutras, our Prakarana Granthas. These are the scriptures he knows. Why? Because scriptures constantly keep him on track. See, why do we lose our happiness and peace? Always we go out of track, we lose happiness. We lose our balance. So the Shrotriya is the one who is always reminded of his true purpose, true goal. He is never allowed to deviate. What he is saying, Yad Juhoshi, Yad Karoshi, be always constantly in remembrance of God and do everything for God's sake. Let's begin there, he is saying. But how to stay steady? Scriptures are the guiding light. They are our true north. They are our compass, who keep us steady on the path. They help us navigate correctly. We are not lost because scriptural truths are ringing in our ears. Why do I ask you to chant all these Upanishads and Bhagavad Gita and all these things? Because the more you chant, the more it rings within your head, the more you absorb the knowledge of it. And it reminds you every time you go wrong and try to tend to fall into unhappy ways, it reminds you and puts you back on the path again. Like your GPS reminds you, right? Your car turns a wrong turn, it tells, this is a wrong turn, now you'll have to take a U-turn and come back or whatever. So the scriptures are our compass. They show us the way to our happiness. So that's why Shrotriya is important. You should be learning scriptures, otherwise you will never know what gives you true happiness. You will be searching in wrong places. So one, and akamahatasya, and desireless. And if you become desireless person, you will always be happy. And that again sounds like another impossible, because so many desires. Okay, Shrotriya we can learn the scripture. That's not impossible task. Now, earlier in the past, it was very impossible because it was given to only a few people in the society to learn the scriptures. All the knowledge of the scripture was very, kind of protected, so that it doesn't go to the wrong people, doesn't go to the wrong hands. And with that intention, it was taught only to the deserving ones. Vedante parahamam guhyam purakale prachoditam na putraya datavyam na shishaya na shantaya, like that some shloka goes, right? Who should not be taught this? A putra should not be taught. Your own son, if he is not your own child, don't teach the scriptures, this says. And ashishyaya, if he is not your own disciple, then don't teach, he says. Then third, aprashantaya, the one who does not have a peaceful demeanor, a peace of mind, don't teach that person. Scriptures should not be taught just like that to everybody. Our scriptures themselves say. So when that is happening, these were not taught to everybody. Nobody had access to these. Only some learned ones in some gurukulas had access. Common man had no access to scriptures. So they were never happy. But today you have access to scriptures. Shrotriya you are. But the second part also is necessary, which is akamahata. Have no desires. What do you mean by no desires? I want to get first rank in my class. I want to build a new house. I want to buy a car. I want to grow in my career. I want to travel around the world. I want to buy new clothes. These are all desires. Should not have all these desires. What are the desires that our scriptures talk about? That which helps us to live our life comfortably, not luxuriously. Those desires are permitted. They are not bad desires. If you don't eat, how will you even follow the scriptures? How will you even follow this path? Yes, the food is permitted. What kind of food? That which does not harm anybody, that does not cause harm to you also. A food that has not been stolen, or there's a scripture on annam also. It should not be stolen. It should have been earned by your own hard work. It should be eaten after having given to somebody to eat. Like after dana only you should do bhoga. So many rules. So if you eat like that, no problem, it says. That desire is okay because it is just to keep you alive. That's your fundamental right. Similarly, clothing, shelter, basic income, education, all these are basic desires. All that is permitted by the scriptures. They are not classified as desires, they are needs. Needs have to be met. Beyond that, when we start getting to the greed side of things, that is what desires are. It's not enough if I get good marks, I learn well. No, I have to be first. That fellow should not be first. These kind of wrong ideas are the desires which should be not entertained in our head. So the one who is free of such selfishness and greed, such a person is akamata only. Akamhatasya. So Shrotriyasya cha akamhatasya. The one who is learning the scriptures is guided by the scriptures, and the one who has no desires for himself. He has desires for the good of others. That's not a desire at all. That's permitted. No selfish desires are there. Nothing for one's sake. He does things for the sake of everybody. In the process, he also benefits. That's perfectly okay. When a pujari does puja, offers naivedya to God, everybody gets prasadam, he also gets to eat a little bit. But he's not making the prasadam so that he eats all of it, right? He is making for that everybody gets a part of it. So that idea of selflessness is not desire. I also have desire. Everybody should be happy. Everybody should study well. Everybody should be healthy. Everybody should realize the truth. All these are my desires also, but they are not classified under desires types. They are good wishful prayers are there. Everybody should be happy. This is a good desire. It's not. So selfishness is what actually qualifies or disqualifies a desire. If you have a selfishness, then it becomes the desire which binds you. If it's a selfless thought, even if it's for the whole world's welfare, it's okay. You desire for everybody's goodness, it's okay. That desire doesn't bind you. So basically it says Shrotriya cha nisvartate. Nisvartha ilbeku. The selflessness should be there. The one who is selfless and learned, such a person is bound to be happy. And his happiness quality is the same as the quality of a human happiness or the happiness of Brahmananda. It's the same. It doesn't distinguish, because after every such things, te yeshatam manushyanandaha sa eko manushya gandharvanam anandaha shotriyasya cha akamhatasya, it says. Then it says, te yeshatam manushya gandharvanam anandaha sa eko deva gandharvanam anandaha, then shotriyasya cha akamhatasya, it will repeat again. So it keeps repeating to tell you, either you achieve this or you simply achieve the other one, which is to learn the scriptures, be guided by them, and be selfless, be desireless. If you do that, you're always going to be happy. Is this not more doable? You'll say that is also not doable. Desirelessness is not doable. Because you always, no, I'm saying have desires, but selfless desires. Not just I should be happy, let everybody around me be happy. Not I just should eat, everybody eat, let everybody be healthy, happy, samasta loka. Can we not develop that kind of a better desire than these lower desires of I, me, mine? That's all our scriptures are asking us to do. Sarvaloka hiterata. Engaged in welfare of others, that's also a desire, good desire. A good desire is very useful. Ramakrishna would say, Paramahamsa would say, if one thorn has gone into your flesh, how do you remove that thorn? You remove that thorn with another thorn and throw away both the thorns. So first thorn is selfish desire. I, me, myself. Second thorn is selfless desire. Let everybody be happy. With this desire, remove the other desire. Get rid of both of them, it says. So that is the idea. Our scriptures are so very, and you cannot find better textbooks on spirituality than our Upanishads. I've traveled around the world, a little bit of religious studies I've done, I've interacted, not debated, but at least had discussions with people following various other paths and philosophies. And I've always come back more convinced about Sanatana Dharma. I've always come back more encouraged to pursue the path of Sanatana Dharma and the thought of this philosophy of Upanishads. It's very simple and straight. And it is to the point. There's no beating around the bush. It's very clear. Be desireless, be guided by the truths of the scriptures, and you will be happy. What are the scriptural truths? Satyam vada, dharmam chara, swadhyayam ma pramadaha. All these are to speak truth, follow dharma, do not harm anyone, do good to others. Kushalan na pramaditavyam, bhutyai na pramaditavyam, deva pitra karyabhyam na pramaditavyam. That is why we go on repeating these two things to ourselves. Why? Because scriptures should guide us. So when we are deviating, scriptures should say. They should ring a bell in the head. Oh, this is wrong. This is not what scriptures allow us to do. This is how I will fall into the trap of unhappiness. So let me not engage in that. So this is how our scriptures guide us, and that is the way to be happy. So if you tell, be happy, this is the idea. Don't have any desires, you will always be happy. I mean, don't have any selfish desires. And if at all you get confused, which is selfish, which is selfless, go back to scriptures. Scriptures will tell you what is the right thing to do. He'll always say, greater good of all is above the individual good. Simple as that. Follow that. So keep following and keep going back to scriptures. That is the greatest boon. As Indians, we have been blessed with our scriptures. And our rishis and the great acharyas have preserved this knowledge for us. Despite all the challenges that they have faced, you can imagine this country has been invaded by, name it, in every single uh, force that you can think of, a foreign force has invaded this country, plundered it, destroyed our knowledge systems, schools, colleges, or universities. But our knowledge never got destroyed. Why? Because we were experiencing that knowledge. It was there within us. The gurus had this and they passed it on to the shishyas. You can destroy the books, but how can you destroy the knowledge that is already inside your head? So this knowledge which was a part of us, because we were always guided by the scriptures, we followed that as our yardstick. It remained with us. And because we practiced it, so we never forgot. They could destroy our buildings and libraries and schools. They can even kill our teachers and students. But the knowledge remained somewhere. And it continued to be passed on. Today, this knowledge is being taught to every one of you. So be guided by the truths of the scriptures and be desireless. Do not have selfish desires. That's all I'm saying. And in that, you will achieve everything in life. That you will achieve everything, because the one who is selfless has the power of the universe with it. Because we were all meant to be selfless. We were born to be selfless. We were born to be kind. We were not born to be selfish. That was not how we were designed. This fault has happened, this corruption has happened over a period. And so whenever you do something good, the universe comes together because they are happy, the gods are happy. They see, oh, there is somebody here who is following something selfless. We want to support that. That is how you do great things in life. So remember that and be happy. That is how you will be happy. Another level, if you can't even do that, one more way of be happy is what he said, Bhakti is a way to be happy. A bhakta can never be unhappy. You can't be a bhakta and also be unhappy. It's not possible. It's like you are having day and also you are having night. This doesn't happen. They are two opposites. So bhakta, true devotee, can never be unhappy because he always believes that he's been looked after. He's being looked after by the divine. And whichever situation, yesterday I was listening to the song, Halallu Darhaku, Nirallu Darhaku. Whatever situation you put us in, we will be happy. Hayagirve. He says, I will be happy. Whichever situation you put me in. Why? I know you are there looking after me. I know this is the best that should happen to me, even if it doesn't look the best. So I am happy nevertheless. So this idea of bhakti also is like that. Anityam asukam lokam imam prapi vajasya Krishna says. Remember me, because the world is designed to be unhappy, a place which has to be full of unhappiness. How to be happy within an unhappy world? Remember me, Krishna says, that I am there. I am looking after you. I am doing the best for you. So don't worry. Sometimes I see these kids come for vaccination. No? Oh, they yell and cry and scream. They think the mother is doing harm. Why? Because taking her to the doctor and putting an injection. But mother is doing for the best of the kid. That's what doctors, most of the kids are scared of doctors because they're always poking them with injections. But then later they realize, oh, this is the doctor because of which I was saved. So you realize over a period, but the bhakta realizes it very soon. He knows God is there to protect me. So bhakti, you can't be calling yourself devotees and also have a long face. Not possible. It means you're not truly a devotee. You're just trying to be a devotee. You're not yet a devotee. Who should qualify you as a devotee? You don't qualify yourself. I have to qualify you. And how do I know you are a devotee? When you are never unhappy. Why? Because you are a devotee. It's as simple as that. So ask yourself, are you even a devotee? Forget about Jnani. Jnani is what Narasimhamurti sir is saying. 3 levels. Bhakta, Krishna says, remember me and be happy. That everything is under my control and this is the best that can happen to you and there is nothing to worry and cry and whine about. That is one way. If you don't have that one bhakti. Second is Niswartha Seve. You don't live for yourself, you live always for others. You are akamahata. You have no desire. You are also happy. That is Karma Marga. And third is Jnana Marga, Eko Vashi Sarvabhutantaratma. You see everything as one. Follow one of the paths and be happy. That's what Krishna is saying. Bhakti Marga, Karma Marga, Jnana Marga. Anything you do, but be happy. And all these paths teach you how to be happy. A Bhakta is happy because he's under Bhagavan's care. And this is the worst situation maybe for others, but for him, this is the best that could be done in the given circumstances because God has looked after everything else. For a Karma Yogi, he has no desire for himself. Akamahata he's only being engaged in the welfare of all. Lokahite rataha. Such a person is also very happy because he has no desires for himself, so he's never disappointed. And third is Jnani, because realize the oneness of everything. He is the one who sees his reflection in all the mirrors, and so is happy. Take any path, chahe bhakti or karma or jnana. But let me tell you, the for attaining happiness, the fastest path is that way karma yoga. Do niswartha karma, nishkama karma. Very fast you can try to do something good to others and see if you become happy or not. Do a little good to others, selfless good, and see whether you feel happiness within or not. You will feel happiness. That's the outcome of doing good. That's the incentive, that's the motivation, that's the prize. So do selfless good to anybody, you will feel happy. That happiness is out of that niswartha bhava, kamahata. Or do bhakti. In whatever situations you keep, I am happy. But is our mind capable of understanding that? How many times we have blamed and cried and fought with God? When everything is going right, everybody is good bhakta. Something goes wrong, questions start. How could this happen to me when you were around? Are you even there? Are you even for real? All kinds of questions. We question the very existence of God because it's not in our favor or it's not convenient to us. How many times we have done that? Ridiculous, but that we do. So bhakti is also very difficult that way if you see when it comes to difficult times. And jnana takes a lot of effort and a lot of course, all these adds to that jnana. But then you can take to jnana marga, go away somewhere, meditate whole day on this, contemplate on this truth, and truth will reveal itself to you. And you will see the oneness in everything. So what can you do? That is why we put these institutions in place. Do seva. Niswartha seva you do, your desires will come down. When you go to the hospital and see the patients, you come back and suppose you went with some leg pain or a tooth pain and you see there people with cancers and heart attacks and then you come back saying, thank God I don't have a cancer or a heart attack, I have only a pain in my toe or one teeth. You come back very happy. Why? Because you're suddenly seeing others' problems. You're relating to them. You're praying for them now. So Niswartha Seva or Seva, when you do, you really become happy faster. But you have to keep doing continuously. Your life should become a saga of selfless service. One day you do, you'll become happy. Next day you don't do, you'll become unhappy. Can you do it all the time or everywhere? Sarvada, Sarvakaleshu. Then you will be happy forever. So these are simple tips to be happy. They are very simple actually if you ask me. Being desireless is very good and very simple. Desires are very complicated because one desire leads to another, that leads to another, and it gets very complex. And even if half of them are fulfilled, yet you are not happy because the other half has not been fulfilled. You don't see your glass is half full, you only see the glass is half empty. You'll never be happy. This is the idea of desires. They're never done. This is no our what is that king who used to I used to tell them about. Anyway, that is for another time. But he would say always that Tishnana Tirnaha, Vayameva Tirnaha. Our desires are not done, we are done in the process. It means our life gets over, but our desires never get over. Desires never get over. The only way to get rid of desire is to not have desire at all. You think you will fulfill the desire and that way you will overcome the desire. That's a stupid idea. It's like you are trying to fuel the fire and thinking you can put out the fire. That's never going to happen. The only way to curb the desire is to not fulfill the desire. You avoid fulfilling those desires, which are not right. So that is how you must deal with your desires, and desires are the reason why we are unhappy. A wrong desire is the reason why we are always unhappy. A right desire will always make us happy. A right desire to do good to others is the fastest way to make people happy. Make yourself happy in the first place. So when people ask, why are you doing all these things? I said, because I feel happy. See, if I was not happy doing what I'm doing, you think I will continue doing it? You can act being happy for 1 day, 2 days, 10 days. After 10 years also, if you still are happy and you're only doing more, it means you're really enjoying it, right? Otherwise, who? Who would do it? So that is the idea. When you do for others without desires for yourself, you're always happy. Try to do this every day. A little something for somebody. And you'll always be, at least you'll experience that joy for that moment. But if it becomes your life to do good to others without any desires and selfishness, you'll always be happy. So be devoted to God. Completely having faith in God will also keep you happy. I'm not saying you'll be comfortable, but you'll be happy. You may not be comfortable because you may not have enough whatever as you wish or as you could have had. But you are still happy because your mind is free of all the worries. Or you are a jnani, you see oneness in everything, you don't feel the difference between us and them. You are always happy because you are seeing yourself. Or nothing works out, please just go do karma yoga. This is a karma bhumi. Karma yoga is the very first beginning of all spiritual practices. Start with selfless service, desireless service, and you start experiencing that happiness. But what is my problem? In such institutions also, some desire comes up. I should be recognized for the good that I am doing. I should be rewarded for it. I should be given better position, better authority, more power, more this, more that. We start asking, and again we ruin the whole experience of happiness. No, just being able to do good is a blessing. That's a reward in itself. There's no more rewards required. Anyway, other things are looked after. No, it's not that anybody is starving over here. You may not eat in gold vessels, but that is not necessary. So that is the idea. Being able to do good itself is a blessing God has given us. What more blessing you want from God? You gave us an opportunity and you made us do good. Somebody told me the other day, two engineers were speaking, and one of them said, this is the only place on earth and the only organization where we are paid to do good. Other places do good on your own if you want to. You are not paid for that. Here we are paid to do good. Look at that. Who will call you and say, come, I'll pay you, do selfless service? That is because I am so interested in your happiness. If I was not interested in your happiness, then I would not be doing this. Why should anybody be doing this? Because when you are happy, it makes me happy in return. I want to see happy faces, smiling faces, joyful faces, peaceful faces. Why there should be anxiety? Why should be sadness and sorrow here? It should not be. It's not because of the place or anything else. It's because of your own inability to follow these simple things. Whether you're individual or a class or an institution, this is the method. As long as you're selfless and think of greater good, you'll always be happy. The moment selfish desires come in, that is the end of all the happiness. And from there, all the problems start. So if you are miserable in a place like this, it's not because of place of people, it's because of you. Why? Because you have desires which are not right. Get rid of them, you'll again become happy. Very simple as that. So remember these simple things and you follow these in your life. If you don't follow, what is the point in me teaching all these things? It's just going waste, right? Of course, somebody will listen from somewhere and he will or she will benefit. I keep getting a lot of messages from around the world. One day I was in the US and one lady came driving, I don't know, 9 hours or something like that, just to meet me. And she's not known to me, I don't know her, but there was an event and she found out and she came because she said, I came here to just see who you are. I somehow listening to your Bhagavad Gita discourses, and one particular discourse that she mentioned, she said, that was the one that has changed my life, my perspective, my attitude, my opinion about things. I'm looking at everything from a different viewpoint and makes me feel so much better. Somebody in the US, watched a video and drove 9 hours to just meet me to say thanks for the discourse, because that has changed her life. So when the wood is dry, it catches fire like that, right? So desireless mind is like the dry wood. It will just catch jnana like this. A desireful mind, desirous mind is like wet wood. How much ever you try, it won't catch fire. So the Swartha Seva makes you desireless. That desirelessness makes you eligible for wisdom. And that wisdom gives you eternal happiness. So this is how it is being done. It is the mechanism of this place is this. The underlying principle is this, to how to make you happy and how to keep you happy forever. Start with desireless service, bhakti, ultimately you will reach jnana. Definitely you will reach jnana. Once you reach jnana, it is an irreversible reaction. Yad gatva na nivartante taddhamam paramam mama, Krishna says. Once you reach there, there is no return from there. It means you can't come back to your old ways. It's not a temporary modification, it is a permanent change. It's transformation. Once jnana happens, it's transformation. Once the transformation happens, there is no point. He's right. Eternal, shashvata sukham, if you want, then jnana has to happen. But at least now you want to be happy as and when, wherever you are, at least bhakti or karma you should do. Between bhakti and karma also, karma is a better path according to me. It's easier. Start with karma, develop bhakti and ultimately attain jnana. This is the way it should be. Our scriptures are so very kind to us. Our teachers were so very kind that they left so many options for us. They knew all are not equal. Though we are in the same class, we are incapable of learning at the same pace. So they were very kind. They customized it to our needs. They gave us a lot of options, saying choose any one of them and be happy. That is the happiness that we should chase. And that Ananda is the ultimate quality of joy. What is ultimate quality of God? Anandam Brahmano Vidwan, na vibheti kutaschaneti. Once the Vidwan, the knower of God, the Brahmana, knower of Brahma, or the ultimate truth, attains that happiness, na vibheti. He is never afraid of anything because everything is him. How can I be afraid of my own reflection in the mirror? It is me, this is also me. Like that he sees everything as him, so where is the fear for that person? Where is the desire for that person? Nothing exists like that for such a person. So enjoy that kind of freedom, that kind of joy, but put efforts towards that. It just won't fall into your hands like that. It has to be earned. The other day one person had come, he was telling me, give me Brahmagyana, you can give Brahmagyana. When will you give Brahmagyana? I said, you are not ready, I can't give you Brahmagyana. I told the same thing. When I was asking Bhagavan, give me Brahmagyana, he told me, you are not ready. This was in 2012 or 11, sometime. That time I used to do meditation and he would come and I would talk to him. I had only one interest. I said, I thought I missed the bus because he, so to say, passed on. But here he is back again. And now I don't want to miss the bus. Why should I ask for any petty, silly things? Let me catch him and give me Advaitic Jnana, wisdom, Brahma Jnana. He told me, you're not ready. But the key is with me. And I will give you when the time is right. It is in the box I've kept, metaphorically. The key is with me, and I'll give you when the time is right. If I pass a high voltage current through a low capacity wire, it will burn the wire. If I fill water in an unbaked pot, it will break the pot. So you are not ready for this wisdom, but one day you will be. And he put me on this path of Niswartha Seva. Made me get rid of every of my personal possessions or obsessions or ideas, and made me continuously work for the welfare of all. And 6 years later, from that time, or maybe 7 years later, he finally called and told, here, time has come, I will give you the key. And with this key, anytime you can open the door and go inside. Whenever you don't want to, you can come out and close the door and be in your, so you can be in Jiva Prajna, Daiva Prajna, it's up to you now. There is a choice. Earlier there was no choice. Now there is a choice. You want to work in the world, develop with your Jiva Prajna, you can work. You want to withdraw and enjoy that peace, Daiva Prajna, you can shift over to. So simple. Same thing Ramakrishna Paramsa told Vivekananda. He had first experience of Brahmananda because he was questioning Ramakrishna's wisdom. Ramakrishna just gave him a little kick on his chest and he felt everything is one. 3-4 days he lived in that kind of reverie. And then he came back, all that went down after time. He came back and said, give me again that experience. I don't want to go and work and I want to. He said, no, your time is not right, but I have the key. Same thing Ramakrishna Paramsa says, I have the key and I'll give you when the time is right. But right now, you have to work for the world. You have work to spread the word of our Vedanta. And he sent him on his errands around the world. So our scriptures, our gurus have been very kind to us. But they wait for our eligibility, our deservedness. And I feel so bad that if somebody is not putting efforts on this path, I think that makes me really sad. I feel it is here right there for you to claim it is yours, but you are not putting that much effort also to come and claim. If you claim, it will be yours. When my grandmother was there, she used to get pension because my grandfather was a school principal. So she used to get lifelong pension, very small money. But pension will come to the account, but she has to go sign and then claim the pension, right? So when I was a kid, I used to always tag along with her because you could ride a bus and go to the government office and claim the pension. And once she gets her pension, she'll give me 1 rupee as a tip for accompanying her. So for that 1 rupee sake, I used to climb the bus and go with her, come running from school, throw bag and just go ahead because on Saturday she used to go. So every month. So pension is there. But you are so lazy to even go and claim it. You just to sign the paper and take the money. And then you starve here in poverty. What kind of nonsense is this? This is what bothers me a lot. It could have been yours. It is yours to claim. It is there right in front of you. Get up and at least take it, I can take the horse to the water. That's the best I can do. That's all I'm trying to do. But there are horses, who do not want drink water. And they're thirsty. And they cry, we are unhappy, we are not. This is not my making, this is your making. So these are simple things you can do and be happy. Do Niswartha Seva, be happy. Do Bhakti, pure Bhakti, and be happy. And ultimately attain that wisdom, ultimate wisdom, Shashvata Sukham, Netaresham. You will be the people who will never be able to come back again to this sad world, Anityam Sukham Lokam. You are once for all redeemed. So attain this, and that would be the truest contribution you can make to the world. That is the greatest tribute you can offer to the gurus and the scriptures, and that is the greatest gratitude that you can express to your teacher. This is how you should live your life here, and be reminded of it every day. Read the scriptures, every day read the scriptures. Or if not scriptures, listen to the discourse. Please, every day 15-20 minutes, pick up one discourse on Advaita and listen. It will simply, slowly start sinking, it will get into every cell of your body, and unknowingly, you will start following that. Read scriptures, listen to scriptures, and if you can't read Sanskrit and understand all that, at least listen to these discourses which are in English. When Swamiji told me, Swamiji, you have learned such good English. If I had known this much English, I would have conquered the world by now. Means going around the world, he would have taught everybody and made everybody his disciples. This was his, whatever, he was lamenting. I said, no, Swamiji, it's not so easy. I speak in English also, still people don't follow. Even if I speak in Spanish and Portuguese and Japanese and Russian, nobody will follow at the end. It is not about you speaking, it's about their listening. It is up to them, not up to us. So he was laughing. I said, so that is how it should be. You should follow what is being told. Read scriptures, listen to scriptures, contemplate the scriptures. This is the best way to keep yourself on the track and not get deviated. Okay.